Egypt, the sun burns hot. The Hebrew people are slaves. Pharaoh, the cruel king, orders all Hebrew baby boys thrown into the Nile River. A woman named Jochebed has a baby boy, Moses. She hides him to keep him safe. Jochebed weaves a basket and places Moses inside. She sets it in the river. His sister Miriam, who was about 7 or 8 years old, watches from a distance, her heart pounding. Pharaoh's daughter finds the basket. She sees Moses and loves him. She decides to keep him. Young Miriam bravely steps forward and says, "I can find a Hebrew woman to nurse him." The princess agrees. And so Moses' own mother, Jochebed, raises him in secret, even getting paid by the palace. He grows up safe. Moses grows up in Pharaoh's palace as a prince. He wears fine clothes but never forgets he's Hebrew. At 40 years old, he sees an Egyptian guard brutally beating a Hebrew slave. Moses gets angry. He kills the guard and hides the body in the sand. Someone sees and the news spreads. Pharaoh wants to kill Moses. Moses runs away to Midian, a far land. He's alone and scared. There he meets Zipporah, a kind woman. They marry and have a son. Moses becomes a shepherd watching sheep in the desert. He lives here for the next 40 years, prepared by God. Years passed. The old Pharaoh died, and a new, stubborn king now ruled Egypt. One day, Moses sees a bush on fire near Mount Horeb. It burns but doesn't turn to ash. A loud voice speaks. God, "Moses, I see my people suffering in Egypt. You will lead them to freedom." Moses is afraid. "I'm not good enough. I can't talk well." God says, "I'll help you. Your brother Aaron will speak for you." Moses agrees. Aaron was Moses' elder brother. Moses met him in Egypt after God's words. He and Aaron go to Pharaoh's palace. God says, "Let my people go." Pharaoh laughs. "No!" He makes the Hebrew slaves work harder. They are mad at Moses. God sends 10 mighty plagues to show his power. The Nile turns to blood. Frogs cover the land. Then come gnats, flies, and dead animals. Boils hurt the Egyptians. Hail smashes crops. Locusts eat everything. Darkness lasts 3 days. Pharaoh still says no. God plans a final terrible plague. Moses warns Pharaoh, "Every firstborn in Egypt will die." Pharaoh doesn't listen. God tells the Hebrews to kill a lamb and put its blood on their doors. They eat a quick meal. That night, death passes over their homes, but takes every Egyptian firstborn. Pharaoh's own son dies. He's broken. "Go," he tells Moses. The Hebrews leave fast, taking bread without yeast. Pharaoh changes his mind and sends his army after them. The Hebrews reach the Red Sea and panic. Moses raises his staff. God splits the sea.
It's a miracle. We are saved.
The Hebrews walk through on dry ground. The army follows, but the water crashes down, drowning them. The Hebrews are free. Miriam leads the women in songs of praise to God. Moses leads the people into the desert. They complain about no water. God makes bitter water sweet. They want food. God sends manna, bread from heaven, and birds to eat. At Mount Sinai, God calls Moses up. Thunder and lightning flash. God gives the 10 commandments on stone tablets, rules to follow. The people get impatient. They make a golden calf to worship. Moses is angry. He breaks the tablets and destroys the idol. God forgives, but punishes some. Moses gets new tablets. His face shines from God's glory, so he wears a veil. Moses leads the Hebrews for 40 years in the desert. They fight enemies like the Amalekites and win with God's help. The people often complain. Once they need water. God tells Moses to speak to a rock. Moses hits it instead. Water comes, but God is upset. You didn't obey, you won't enter the promised land, God says. Moses keeps leading. He teaches God's laws and settles fights. He's tired but faithful. Moses is old, 120 years old. The promised land, Canaan, is close. From Mount Nebo, he sees it, green hills and rivers. He can't go in. God says his time is done. Moses speaks to the people one last time. Love God and obey him. He blesses them like a father. Alone, Moses dies on the mountain. God buries him in a secret place. The people cry. Moses is gone, but he led them from slavery to freedom. Moses was born a slave, raised a prince, became a shepherd, and was called a prophet. He stood before Pharaoh. He parted the sea. He spoke to God face to face. He wasn't perfect, but he followed God to the end. And his life reminds us, God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things.